Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's interview where we have a very special guest, Jorge Esparza. Jorge is a hospitality professional from Ecuador who was part of Placement International J1 program. Jorge, thank you for being here. How are you?
Thank you, Diego. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here in this interview. Looking forward to share most of my amazing experiences here in the United States with all of you.
Great, nice to hear that. As you know, we've been looking forward to this interview so you can share your incredible journey so far. So we can start. I want to ask you first if you can introduce yourself and share a bit about your background in hospitality.
Of course, I'm Jorge Esparza. I'm from Ecuador. During this past year, I have been experiences working and having experience in most of the high-end luxury hotels here in the United States. I one day I was looking for companies that have these kind of programs in United States, and I found a Placement International, and I can assure, since the first day until now, I have been having a great experience.
That's amazing, Jorge. I know that you gain experience in different hotel departments. I don't know if you can share a little bit about that. I think it was rooms division.
Yes. And so I'm graduate from hospitality in my country, Ecuador, and I decided to take this possibility to travel to the United States. And from the moment that I decide which department to work, one of my passions is food and beverage, and that's why I had the experience. But this program is amazing because you have the opportunity to see inside the hotel, the different departments, how it works together. And in my experience, also after having experience in food and beverage, also I went to rooms division.
That's amazing. And the good part is that you know how everything's connected and how everything works together to give the best experience and service to the guest. But I wanted to focus on how your journey started and basically how was your experience with Placement International as a J1, if you can talk about that.
Absolutely. So once I graduate, I knew information like in the books, how hospitality works in the books, but I was ready to experience that in real life. So Placement International helped me from the first time to have this connection with luxury hotels. They prepare me for interviews from scratch. We had some mock interviews that I was given some information about what questions probably the different companies could ask me. And finally, I decided to have an interview with a luxury hotel, and gratefully I had the position.
That's amazing to hear. Yes, we know we always focus on primarily on providing support to our candidates at every stage, and not only we help them in the beginning, but guide them through the whole process, entire journey, anything they need or any support they need to have. As you know, going to a new country and working in a luxury property can be a challenge, and that's why a support sometimes is necessary. But I'm glad that that was your case, and I know that you work in a luxury property. It was JW Marriott, which is amazing. I know you gained valuable experience in that. I wanted to ask you, like, how did Placement International help you secure a position at that property?
So to be honest, I had some experience in Ecuador in some companies, but I didn't feel prepared to have an interview with JW Marriott. At that moment, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't trust 100%. But I had the company of Placement International. They told me some information. They give me some guidance about the process. And finally, I take courage and I decided to go to have the interview with JW Marriott. Of course, before the interview, we had some mock interviews as well. I have to study about the properties, know some information because probably I will be asked about that in the interview. And finally, I decided I took the interview. And of course, when I started there, it was like a dream. I had the opportunity to share this experience not just with people that work in the hotel, and also people as me that were students from all over the world. experiences first time in the United States.
That's amazing. And yeah, being that property must be like totally out of this world because you know how it works, you know how are the properties and how is everything working. I want to go like a bit more like deep into your experience at JW Marriott. How was it? What did you learn? If you can tell us a little about that.
Yes. So I will say that Placement International give me all the tools for me to grow as I can, as I want, basically. So at the beginning, I had an operational position that I started to grow. So at the beginning, of course, I was having some knowledge about um, food and beverage requirements, what people likes, menu, all this kind of information. And after that, I apply inside the company to be growing. So in my last stage of this property, I was a supervisor in training. That gives me a great information in my CV, and now I feel like that helps me a lot.
So basically, you grew in the company, which also manage a lot of things, more and more duties, and gave you a lot of experience with that. That's amazing, yeah. And like I know that you also were living in Savannah, Georgia, if I'm right. So I want to talk about that. Like, how was your experience working and like living in your host country? Like, how do you felt? How was it?
I will say, for the first time for me to travel abroad of my country and have experience out of my comfort zone, it was kind of challenges at the beginning because it was my first time living for myself in another country. But it's great that Placement International has a big community all over the world. So when you go to a new country, to a new city, my experience was great. I had the opportunity to share with more people, with more students that are my age. So I become very good friends with them, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, meeting people from around the world and that are in your sermon journey, it not only like show you that they are also like fighting for their dreams, but also like they're not your colleagues. They can become like you meet your true friends and they're in those experiences, you know. So I'm glad that happened to you, and yeah, it's amazing. Um, also want to talk to you about the mentorship. Like, did Placement International provide you guidance or any mentorship during the program or through your journey, and how was it?
Yes. So to be honest, I didn't know how it works, the whole process, because when I was in Ecuador in my school, is see myself working in a luxury hotel as a J1, it was a dream. And I didn't know how long it's gonna take, how is difficult is gonna be the process, but to be honest, very very smooth. Everyone was very helpful with me. Placement International has a big group of professional that was helping me in all the steps from choosing the properties that I want to have interviews with until once I already arrived to United States, they were always contacting me. So it's been amazing. It's always a help. I feel like Placement International always have your back. So it's amazing to have that help always.
Support. Okay. Now I'm glad to hear that they help you along the process. Yeah. And last question for you, Jorge. What advice will you give to future Placement International candidates?
I will say, I know you guys could be afraid, or uh, you see yourself dreaming as working in another country and a luxury property, having a manager position, and that's not a dream. It's not just a dream. Don't keep it as a dream. You can always have the assistance of Placement International. They will help you to find the best place, the best fit of you, and once you go and experience that for yourself, you will be amazing how everything works. Is just amazing. Once you go there and experience yourself, you're gonna be very happy as myself.
Thank you for that, Jorge. And well, basically, that are the questions that I have for this interview. As you know, it's a pleasure to have you here, Jorge. I know that it's been an incredible journey for you. And thank you for your time mostly and having this chance to talk with you and giving your advice as well as your answers. Basically, anytime you always be in contact with us. You have our emails, our contacts, so please stay in touch. And well, basically that. Thank you so much, Jorge.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you, everyone. And I hope to keep in contact always.
Of course, of course.